Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you here. This morning we're going to be going over my build, the build that I've been using since Beast of Reincarnation came out, since I played it last week. I was able to complete the game with this build. I want to go over it because a lot of you were interested in a lightning focused build, and well, we put together a thunder build that's been really good. Basically, we're taking advantage of the Thunderwave sword. What this does is when you hit, you're going to call down lightning strikes that's going to strike an enemy nearby, and due to some of our synergies, which is going to be on Koo, some of our mods, this is going to make it much easier for us to shock them, to stun them, and then of course, because of our mods, we're going to make it much easier to stagger them. The build initially is very good single target, but when you start getting some of the like arts and skills to go with it, we start to get a lot of good AoE on top of that. You get a lot of control, you get a lot of damage. It pretty much does everything you need to get your first playthrough done, and most importantly, it comes online extremely early, like Act 3, you can start playing this build. So without further ado, let's go into how to actually put it together. Alright, so first things first, let's talk a little bit about the setup part of the build, because as you guys probably can tell looking at the screen now, I have quite a few skill points and a ton of stuff active. That's because I'm really high level, and it's going to be hard for you guys to pretty much be at this point. So I want to give you basically the build up and like things you need to do first, and the first is going to be how to get skill points, because skill points is important. One thing you have to keep in mind about how skill points work is every single kill that you do in the game contributes to one skill point. So if you kill an enemy in the very first zone, that's one skill point, or if you go to the very last zone of the game and you kill enemies there, that is still one additional skill point. So the thing that you guys need to do to get enough skill points to just get started with this build specifically would be come to this location here. This is basically the starting location. I'm gonna pull up the map. This is the upstream fast travel location. This is literally, you start right here when you first start the game and come to this location. Now the reason you want to come here is, as you can see here, these are tons of enemies here. 1 2 3 4 5 6. There's 6 enemies in this region, and you saw I had what, 138 skill points or something. Now looking at my skill points, we have 140 up here in the top right. So as you can see, just coming to this region and just killing these enemies here, hell, you can even shoot this barrel here, you can easily be able to get a bunch of extra skill points. Next, we're going to need to go over the weapon, because you're going to need the Thunderwave sword +3, because this is super important. You're not going to be able to plus it as much without upgrading your power, but I'm going to show you where to actually track down this weapon, because it's actually pretty simple. Now, what you're looking for is to be in the ancient civilization zone. I believe this is the 2nd or 3rd chapter, should be fairly easy. And what you're looking to do is come here to the raging rivers. Now, in order to get to this point in the game, you just simply need to continue the main story quests. As you continue the main story quest, you're going to run into a mission where it tells you to get some type of like lightning related item, like a lightning stone or something. You're going to need to defeat an elite. This is where you run into an NPC that is kind of integral to the story, but basically in order to get this weapon, it's pretty straightforward. You're just gonna need to face off against this elite here that you probably see on screen now, and after you defeat him, he's gonna drop it with the key item that you're going to need for the story progression. Keep in mind, there are 11 zones in this game, so you're going to be in the 2nd or 3rd zone, so this is still extremely early where you can get this weapon to get started. Finally, the last piece you're going to need in terms of like armor and pieces of gear is going to be the Insulating mail. This is going to have lightning resistance, it's going to have pretty good defense, which is 32 and 5 spirit stone slots. I would put this basically still in the early game range. I think I got this at like level 18 or something. So a massive portion of you should be close to this level by the time this video releases. You should be able to get this. Now, in order to find the Insulating mail, you're going to come here to the giant wall terraces. And this is like right at the very beginning of this zone. It's a little hard to show you. I'll show you some footage, but it'll be basically like right here-ish in this area. There'll be a box just sitting here. And I'll roll the footage so you can kind of see it. But yeah, come over here and grab it super early in this zone. This isn't beyond like, I think Act 4 or something. So this is still relatively early in the game. So you'll be able to get this and have a really solid armor piece. Now keep in mind, outside of the sword, all this stuff isn't necessarily mandatory. Use the best that you have, but it would obviously make your build way more in line. So that's kind of the reason why I want to just give you guys the minimum. All right, next let's go over the skills and the attributes so you guys have a better idea of how to put this together. So when it comes to Emma, your first priority is going to be maximizing strength. Strength is going to be your overarching thing, because you're going to need Entanglement Overdrive, because Entanglement Overdrive synergizes extremely well with this build. With Entanglement Overdrive, you're going to be able to slow down time, and you'll be able to just kind of attack, and you'll do a ton of lightning procs. You've probably seen a lot of that in the footage so far. So Entanglement Overdrive is going to be high priority. Things that you should invest in is going to be expanded in entanglement gauge. This is super early investment. I maxed this out first, so make sure you do that. Do not max these two out, they're not that great. Instant entanglement is also another max out. I would highly recommend maxing this one out. I didn't do it because I just was experimenting. You definitely want to max this one out. And anything else here is kind of optional. Maybe crit boost can be of value to you, but keep in mind you're going to need to spread your points pretty heavily, so yeah, you're going to need that. The other thing that is super nice is going to be execution assist. Whenever you execute, Koo is going to execute with you, and execution recovery is going to be one of your better sustaining tools, since you won't be investing in too many things to sustain. Well, these are going to be your higher priority skills first. Since you're going to get this one to 18 first, you could in theory beeline to this stuff down here. Now, the next thing you're going to be investing into is trying to get your hair going, which is going to require you to invest into vitality, and health is really important just in general. Now, what the matters the most, you're going to get 1 point in all these things eventually, because you need to get down here to Entangled Thunder. But the best skill, in my opinion, by far is Helm Splitter. When you go up, you're going to slam down and you just do a ton of extra damage, and you can just keep doing it. This is really good area damage. It's one of the few area of effect skills that's really easy to pull off. So this is going to be a high priority. When it comes to your actual blade art skills that you should be using, Shakayaku, I'm not sure how you say this word, but this is another one you could invest into very early. So most of you are probably going to be investing in this. I would invest into the blade art range. I don't know about speed, but the range is nice. And then just base investing into it is also a very good option. Another one that is super good, and the one I use most of the time, is Botan. Botan is super nice because it gives you a nice AoE slam, and most importantly, this is going to be a great traversal tool anyway, so you're going to be using this to traverse around and get around the map a lot easier. I maxed as much as I could, but it's very expensive, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, this one is super good, one of the best, and then it leads into a finisher. Whenever you get to this point, it's going to be much later. But yeah, this is going to be the bread and butter late, and then this one is going to be your bread and butter early. And honestly, you should just experiment with what you think works here. There's a lot of really good blade arts that work really well with this build since you attack fast, but if I had to recommend something, that's what I would do. Now, moving on to Koo, it is kind of functionally the same thing depending on what you want to accomplish. Since you are a little bit more attacky, what I invested into first was guard, simply just because I want to give her a little bit of defense. So I did invest a couple of points into vitality first. I think I got about 9 initially, and then I ended up coming over here and hyper investing into pounce, since pounce and all these other things are really nice. The most important thing to keep in mind about his tree, just in general, is he has a taunt which will take pressure off of you. The tech hidden items will give you early items, that's super nice. Grabbing anything that gives you these heals are super nice as well, because it can help you with sustain. And then unfortunately, you will have to grab stuff over here. Status effect amp is really good, as well as shocking vigor, since this is going to be an electric build. So these two work really well. You can grab these early as well. You're gonna mix a lot of points with Koo just to get him off the ground, and then eventually you're gonna come down here and get Rolling Thunder, because this is going to give you 1% stagger per lightning strike in the last 60 seconds. And Koo is going to be doing it, and you're going to be doing it, and this is going to give you a lot of stagger buildup for bosses and enemies alike. So this is going to be really integral for Koo progression. Just to show you his attributes, because I didn't show you his. What I have him now is 19, 26, 18. I heavily invest into vitality after I got everything to 18, just so I can stay alive longer, but that's what you generally should aim for when it comes to the skills. Now, what I found to work really well with Emma was Entanglement Stone. At the beginning of the combat, you start with 3 entanglement bars. This is super good, and Koo will actually get FP as well. He'll get 3 FP points, and you'll get 3 entanglement gauges. So this is really big. I think this is one of the best things to start with, and it works really well with your build. Another one is really good. It's just straight up onslaught. You should have this early game. This is going to just give you damage at the start of the fight. I like fluorescent recovery because I am giving Koo a ton of extra FP, and since I'm going to be using bloom marks constantly, this is going to just give me a lot of extra HP recovery per second, and this just helps you with a lot of sustain. Also, I use Entangled combo. After reaching a certain combo of 15, this restores a portion of your gauge, and we really want just a lot of entanglement gauge sustain since that's our bread and butter. And then you want, I went with crit damage, so this one is kind of interchangeable. You may not have this early on since you won't have more than 5 stones with the armor that I suggested for like a mid to early game stuff. But this is going to be something you can consider once you get your crit up a lot higher. Now for Koo, what you're going to look for ideally is an attack charm. Where is it? Attack charm 3. And ideally something with lightning 2 or lightning 3 if possible. If you can't get something with lightning 2 or lightning 3, just get anything that boosts his crit chance, extra hit, or I think there's another one that makes it so his base attacks do lightning. Not sure if I can find it. Yeah, this one. It will build shock build up. So get something like that. But ideally, you're going to want a lightning 3 with an attack charm just so you can give him some really solid damage. And it just synergizes with a lot of the things you do. Whenever he attacks, he's going to call forth lightning strikes instead of just his base attack. And he'll call down 2 strikes. So you'll actually build up a ton more lightning strikes. As far as where you can farm this, just anywhere in the later zones. I feel like these are completely random. They drop from enemies randomly, so I don't think there's like a deterministic farm for charms. But as I play more, I'll see if I can find a way to give you guys that information in the future. As for now, just do your best to get what you can, but this is what you're looking for Koo. As far as his items, you're going to get a recovery tonic, whatever size you have at the moment. Picking up Fatality Fang, you should have this Fragility Fang rather. Basically at the start of the game, and this is just going to reduce the attack of the enemy so they don't hit you as hard. Binding Fang is going to build up bind on the enemies. He'll periodically do it. Again, I don't know where all these are because there's so many skills, but you'll eventually run into it. Aim for a bolt shard. Once again, this is a manual you're going to find from a merchant NPC, so just look for merchants. You'll find them sometime throughout the game, and this will give you status build up. Destructive Fang, this is going to weaken their defense, make them defensively weaker. And then healing, this is going to come from investing in Koo's tree. So this is going to be something you can get whenever you have the slot, essentially. With that said, that's pretty much everything you need to know for this build to get yourself started. The build is super powerful, does a lot of damage, gives you a lot of versatility, AoE, solid single target damage, tons of stun build-ups, tons of shocking, so you'll be able to take down enemies extremely easy with this build, so it's really nice. Now, if this video helped you guys out, consider leaving a like, dropping a comment down below, or even subscribing. We got a lot of cool action RPGs coming up on the channel I'm going to be covering over the next coming months, so make sure you're subscribed. Appreciate you all being here, and as always guys, I'll see you in the next video very soon.